Hey everyone, Chevy 1000 here. Today we're back out here on 2010 Chevy Traverse. We're going to put rear brake pads and rotors on it. And we're going to check the air pressure in the tires. And I'm going to speed you up through a lot of this until we get to where I'm going to pull the rotors off. Because there's something I can do that'll make your job a little, I can show you that'll make your job a little easier. When you go to do this, it's not hard at all. So let's hit the intro and we'll get this thing jacked up in the air, get a stand under it, get the wheel off of it, and we'll get into the brake pads. Alright guys, I just seen something. So shaking the car down, make sure it wasn't going to fall, but I don't know. Kind of hard to see out here. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's not the car. That's a wheel bearing. Trying to show you if you can see it anywhere here. Whoa. So I'm going to put the new rear diff in it. We're going to go ahead and have the wheel bearings replaced. Alright, let's get back to taking this wheel off here. Okay, now if you saw on the front, we just took the caliper off and laid it up here. We took this bolt out and one on bottom. Now, if you're going to take this off, you got to take this mount off too. But you can take this mount off and leave your caliper on. There's a bolt here and one right underneath it, right down there. You take that off, set it up there just like you would, and change your pads, your rotor, everything like that. So looks like I'm going to need to get a Torx, and I'm not sure what size that is, maybe 17. I'll check and I'll be back with you and we'll take that off. I'm going to try not to get in your way too much. I got a 13/16 here, 1/2 inch drive. That's called a bump stop. I don't know if this is going to fit. I may just have to go get a wrench. Now these are pretty tight, but like I said, they have to come off. Either way, you got to take them off. So see if we can get on the bottom one here. Oh yeah, that's an easy one to get onto there. Alright, now I'm going to get a wrench and go ahead and finish taking that out, and then we'll pull this off. We'll take the rotor off. Okay, so this rotor wasn't bad, but I got two of them. Well, it's bad now. I got two of them, so I'm putting them both on. This is your emergency brake here. It works fine, so I'm not going to mess with the adjustment. So, back behind here is the wheel bearing. It bolts in from the back through here. You got to take this big nut off, which I got to take off anyway. When I do the rear diff, it's on its way, but it'll probably be a week or two before I get to that. But oh, don't do that if you're gonna, don't do what I just did if you're gonna reuse that rotor. Put some heat around the inside, or right here. Just heat it and tap it here in between your lug, nuts, your lugs. Always, if you're going to do that, if you're going to hit it there, put your lug nuts back on. That way, if you miss, you're not going to ruin the threads on your lug bolts. So, yeah. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this rotor on. Move my stuff out of the way. Here's the new brake pads, and the pads don't look bad on this side, but I think it might have been the other one I seen wasn't the greatest. But while I'm here, let's just go ahead and, like I said, I don't have to adjust this because emergency brakes working fine. Okay, now let's get our, I kind of upgraded on the rotor a little bit, so it's cooler. This hole, you just put that rubber plug back in. This hole, you want to line up with that threaded hole on your hub, and put your little screw back in. Listen, guys, if you lose this screw, don't worry about it. This cannot come off once you get the wheel bolted on. But I still have the screw, so you know, I'm just putting it back in for that reason. But it's really not needed. Like I said, if that rotor comes off and your wheel's on it, you got other issues. That means the wheel and everything came off as a unit. So they say it keeps it from rattling, blah blah blah. I've done them with or without the screws. Don't listen to all these yahoos. that's never had any schooling on this stuff. Now, but the main reason that's in there is when this thing's going down through the assembly line, they put those in there so when this is going through the assembly line to get the other stuff put on, it doesn't fall off onto the floor. That's all them are for. They say, keeps it from rattling. No, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything like that. That's what they're there for. Now, some of these have a coating on them. It's always good to spray them anyway, but... Alright, now we're going to move on to the brakes. I'll push this out of here, just like that. I'm going to leave that one in there because I'm going to use my clamp. Very nice. And again, I've got a rag up front around the brake reservoir, so if any fluid comes out, it's not running all over the car. Alright, now I'm just going to push this one out. Yeah, these holes, not only do they look cool, but that helps keep your rotor nice and cool. So alright, now put this back on here. It can be fiddly to get them started, but once they're there, they're there. Let me see. Uh-oh. Push that too far. There we go. Just like that. I'm gonna get the other one on. Let me spray that just in case I got some. Yeah, I got some fingerprints on that one. Alright. But if it's easier for you to take the caliper off and then take your mount out, by all means do that. It just saves a step. Any DIYer can do this job, guys. Always remember, if you have to change your caliper, just remember that the bleeder valve always goes on top. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to put them 2 bolts in, tighten them up, spray this off again. We'll put the wheel on. I'll fast forward you through that, and we're going to call this job done. I'm trying to stay out of your way the best I can, but there's not much you can see anyway. It's just 2 bolts. One on top, one on bottom. And if you notice, that pink stuff, that's Loctite. That locks your threads in. Now, if you guys don't have fancy torque wrenches, these bolts here, just tighten them as tight as you can get them without breaking them. But one thing I do recommend is having a 1/2 inch drive. You don't want to try to tighten that with a 3/8 drive because it won't tighten it up enough unless you have one of these that go like that extend out. Then you'll probably be all right. to show you, it comes with these anti-rattle clips. If yours are not rusted and real weak, if they're just dirty like these, you can reuse your old ones. They're just dirty. These will look like that within a month. So, you know, save you a little bit of time there, and you throw these in your stash and you got them in case you need them. But again, if they're not rusted, don't worry about it. We're here in Florida, we don't get a lot of rust. So now these two, if you guys noticed, my followers will know that two of these was stripped, remember, and I showed you how to chisel them out and get them off to get the wheel off. These four are original. These two I had in my stash, so that's why they're two different sizes. And I went ahead and took these caps, those stupid caps off of these ones, so I wouldn't have that problem again. That's why those look like that. One day I got a message from Monkey. She was going somewhere with her mom, and it was a picture. She Facebook messaged me. It was a picture. She said, "Are these supposed to be like that?" I'm like, "Yes, they're fine. Trust me, they're okay." So bless her heart, and thank goodness that, you know, because they could have been loose, because they look like it, but they're not. It's just these two are not original. That's why they got threads on them, because they're to hold those hubcaps on that screw onto to your lug nuts. So I didn't have a set of these, so I just had some of these, so I just used them. So that's why they look like that. So my air compressor wasn't turned on, so I just let it build up. I'm going to hit these again real quick. And if you have to do that, guys, for God's sake, make them consistent. Don't put them next to each other. It has absolutely nothing to do with how well it's going to hold your wheel on. It looks stupid, and it's easier when you don't have to change your damn thing so many times, but it just looks more consistent. I mean, that looks like crap anyway, but it would look better than those two right here, you know. So, all right, guys. I'm going to check the air pressure now. It calls for 44. I usually run 42. If something like is, you know, if it takes 32 pound, I'll usually run 30, 31. When they're 44, I usually run 42. You get a better ride. Okay, guys. I'm going to do the other side. I'm not going to bore you with it. It's the same as this side. If I run into something weird, I'll kick you back on and show you. But when I get that done, we'll set the brakes up again, and we'll take it up the road and check it out. Okay, guys. Nothing weird has happened. I think the rotors were fine. Well, they were fine. Brakes were fine, so I think the grinding noise is something else. I'll get into that in a minute. But right now, I want to tell you guys a story. When I was putting this backup camera in here, how long ago was that? I'll look it up and I'll put it across the screen. I lost my light. It came in an Ozark Trail camping hiking kit that her mom got me with machete and knife and axe, and the light was one of them. I used it back here, and then I went up front to do something. I was like, shit, I need my light. And I came back to get my light, and I couldn't find it. And it's been missing ever since. Now, I seen this hanging down right there the other day. I wasn't thinking about it. I just thought it was one of these things, you know. So I'm up under here. I'm tightening my bolts up. I thought, what the hell is that? It's my light. I'm gonna put some batteries in it and see if it still works. I doubt it. That's a good light. I'm gonna put some batteries in it. We'll do a video on this later. Oh no, it ain't gonna work. There's water in it. I see water. Crap. That sucks. It was up in there because I was running this wire right here for the... No, not that one. Well, you can't see it, but I was running the coax for the camera. Crap. That sucks. We'll do a video on this later. That was supposed to be waterproof. But if it still works, that's going to be something to say about Ozark Trail. Alright, let me get this wheel on and we'll set the brakes up. We'll take it for a little drive, and then I'll bring it back and I'll put some air in the front tires. I still got to put air in this one, but I'm not going to bore you guys with that stupid stuff. Okay guys, I'm just going to pump this pedal till it gets firm. Third one, it usually always stops right there, yeah. Alright, let's take a little ride. Whoa. What's going on here? Alright, we're going to take a ride up to the park, check the brakes. Now it's telling me left front tire is low. That's the driver's side. The passenger side needs a monitor put in it. But since I check my own tire pressure all the time, I'm not worried about that stupid light telling me I need to do something with the tire pressure. You're moving around. I got you sitting up here on the dash. Now that I'm sitting over here, I can hear a wheel bearing. I can't hear it on the other side. So, what I thought was the brakes, like when you're backing up, sounded like the brakes were rubbing, you know, metal to metal. I was like, that's weird, because when we got this, someone had put new brakes and rotors on it. But so what I think it is, it's either the issue I'm having in the rear end, you know, in the rear differential, or that wheel bearing when you're backing up. So I'm not positive, but that's going to be all changed. So when I change the differential, I will change the wheel bearings, because like I said, I got to pull the axles out anyway. So I might as well go ahead and yank them 4 bolts that hold the hubs in, and throw a new set of hubs in it too, and then we should be good to go, because we got a low mile transfer case in it. Remember when that thing grenaded? It was right here, right here where that truck's turning out. Monkey was just turning in here, well, turning to go where the truck's coming out of. She was coming down here from our left, turning onto our street, and she said she heard a big pop or a bang or something, and when she was turning here, said, something just happened to the truck. I said, where are you? She said, I just turned on our street. I was like, is it still moving? She said, yeah. I said, all right, I'm coming out. And I could hear her. I could hear the noise that thing was making when she got probably about right in here. I started hearing her because she was going slow. And as soon as she pulled in, I could smell that 90 weight. And if you guys ever smelled 90 weight gear lube, you know that smell. It's a smell like no other. It doesn't smell like oil. It doesn't smell like antifreeze. It doesn't smell like brake fluid. It's its own smell, right? And so, and she come pulling in like this, man. It was bad. It was super bad. So, all right, they feel good. We're good to go. I'll come back out here in a little bit when it cools down, and I will. Monkey usually helps me. She didn't help me last time. She did it all. She picked all my tools up. I went in and I laid down for a nap, and she went out here and picked up all my tools for me, put them in the garage. Thanks, Monk. I really, really appreciate that. So she helps me out, you know. So let me get some air in these front tires, and then but I'm not gonna bore you with that. But yeah, so I think that's what the grinding noise is I'm hearing when we're backing out of here. It just sounded like a brake. And it looked like when I did the front ones, when I checked the back ones, I didn't pull the wheels off. It just looked the way, I don't know if it was the way the sun was shining on it or what, but they kind of looked like they were grooved. So, but yeah, all right, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it again. 2010 Chevy Traverse. I think the Buick Enclaves, the GMC Arcadias, and the Chevy Equinoxes, they're all pretty much the same drivetrain. It's just that the Traverse is the biggest one inside. You got more room inside here, inside of a Traverse, than you do an Enclave, than you do an Arcadia, or, you know, an Equinox. This is the biggest one in the mid-size. So, alright guys, I'm going to let you go. Shea Bear, the Myth, the Man, Legend. I'm gone for now. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care. And stay safe, but most importantly, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy life to the best of your ability. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.